Um,
I'm not taking your advice and thinking to not stop the video. I didn't give you advice, I just said stop. I'm going to make you so that. Ah, you're okay. Well,
do that in the
better have their nail. But anyway, this intro is already approaching 30 seconds. Generation 3 worst, let's Andrew go.
Let me get those stuff.
Dude.
You're meant to be prepared. Right, the Swampert, just because as much as I used to like him, after seeing him in the Oran's demo, I realized how weirdly proportioned he is, and I realized how much I like the other two, and it's just, I, I don't think he's bad, but he's the least favorite for sure. And now let's prepare to hear Swampert.
You shall! As you may have guessed, my bottom starter is also Swampert. My god, do I hate Swampert. I hate it. Alright, at first I just used to dislike it. Then the Mudkip memes came along, and that just sort of made me dislike the whole line even more. I will concede, because I've had this argument a few times with a few different people. Yes, Mudkip is cute. I like Mudkip's design, except for the colours. I hate the colour contrast between orange and blue. I know they're supposed to complement each other and highlight each other and all that stuff. So on a technical level, yeah, a bit of orange splashed with blue makes the blue pop out or the orange pop out more. But I hate the colour, like the colours, at least in the quantity they use them with this line. So that's one knock against it. Not to mention I just don't like orange as a colour in general. At least bright orange. Part of that may be due to things like Jersey Shore, I'm not sure. Waterground, normally a very nice typing, and I have nothing against typing with water and ground, but my god, Quagsire is just a much better Pokemon. I don't know if it's better stat-wise, but it sure as hell is better design-wise. Swampert as a starter, most starters are not really competitively viable, nor do they have particularly outstanding stats, 9 times out of 10. So, nothing inclines me to use it ever. Jesus. And then, moving on to the actual base for what it's like based off of. It's based off of like a Mudskip or a Mudfish or something. And no, thank you. And all this together would normally only make me dislike it, but as it is the very first starter I ever outright disliked, it makes me like it even less, just because it sort of tarnished the name of starters.
You bastard.
It's like Ho-Oh. I wouldn't dislike Ho-Oh as much as I do if it wasn't the first legendary I ever outright disliked. And it's the same for Marshtomp, or Swampert rather. Not Marshtomp. Same for Swampert rather. It's the first start Pokemon I ever disliked, and that makes me like it even less. God, I hate this thing. And its Mega Evolution, just awful. It becomes so fucking top-heavy. I'm calm, Richard, you go.
Okay, my least favourite starter is Blaziken. Mainly just a shit over Andy's favourite.
Right, you're lovely.
Well, yeah, I'm just the best.
He's a bit what you expect.
But yeah, from what I can really see with myself, opinion, starting Pokemon, if I don't like fire, then I despise it enough to put it as my least favourite. Yeah, that works. But yeah, I'm just a big fan of the design, but 5 and 4. Just reminds me of Jet Li. They focus so much on the fighting instead of the fire. I don't like that. Yeah,
That's what I call the design.
Less of fire Pokemon, more of a fire.
Just like being the fire.
Yeah. That's really,
Yeah, I never really thought of that. Like, for the next two that were firefighting, Infernape and Emvor, they really accentuated the fire by having them have fire on their bodies in place condition. Never really thought about it, to be honest.
whatever.
I mean, it's got the fire patterns but on its legs, but they just sort of look like trousers.
Yeah, that could be taken from something like
Yeah.
really weird. Like you guys would find that, right? So you can spit fire.
I didn't expect you to have a fire Pokemon as your least favourite ever.
Yeah, but you'll find that as your favourite. It's not a favourite. It's definitely going to be my least favourite list.
Disregarding last generation,
Yes.
where your favourite was grass and your least favourite was water.
Yeah, that's water deserves to be better.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Right, my least favourite legendary from this generation. I need to remember which of the two it is.
I believe it was the blue.
Yes, it is the blue one, Latios. I don't like either of them, but at least I think Latias has a better color scheme. And that is really as simple as it gets. I don't like the gimmick between the two of them, and I think the white and red looks better.
Yeah, I will agree. The whole thing with Gen 3 in general, where they introduced a bunch of Pokemon that just sort of counterparts to each other to the double battling. It's just like,
And they're looking like pretty well, it goes for all of them really, but I don't like it when they make two Pokemon look that similar to each other.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of necessary for the double battle Pokemon, but
it's really not Solak and Moonshine.
that's true.
I mean, they're complete opposites. They're the same typing and everything, but I mean, it's not like they don't do that a lot, because Cypher and Pinsir were both exclusive members of both types.
Yeah. Oh, that makes it even worse then.
Yeah.
There's nothing really else to say, so moving on.
Alright, my least favourite legendary for this generation. It was a hard choice, because like I said, I don't like any of them. I definitely considered Latios and Latias. More so Latios, because I agree with Andrew, I don't like its design quite as much, more colour scheme quite as much. I don't like the Reggies, and the Kyogre's okay, Gyarados alright, Rayquaza's pretty cool, and Jirachi's cute. So, the Reggies and the Eon duo I hate, and the others just pretty so-so, for the most part. For my least favourite, I decided to go with Registeel. And that's because I by far hate the Reggie's design more than any of the others. Even more so than Latios and Latias basically having the exact same design. You know, especially for that was just lazy. The Mega Evolution being the same. But anyway, the Reggies are completely ugly in my opinion. Friggin' Regirock is by far the best. Regice, ew, but it has a cool cry at least. Registeel, in my opinion, is the absolute worst, because the others look like they were brought out from the elements. Regirock looks like a pile of rocks, it's jagged, it's bulky, it looks tough. Regice looks like a big icicle. But Registeel looks too refined, in my opinion. It looks like a man-made robot, and that just puts me completely off. And it's just like, I mean, they all look sort of like robots, but Registeel being, steel type, just accentuates it, in my opinion. I also don't like the fact that it's got this, while it's curved, it's got a rigid body, but then the arms and legs look sort of like rope. It just bugs the hell out of me. It's got the worst design. I'm not too attached to steel types to begin with, whereas I quite like ice types and rock types are nice. So it's just, it's just bad. I really don't like it at all. Plus, there was a whole thing where in the Gen 4 games, Red of Steel had a sprite in the Japanese version where it looked like he was hailing Hitler. Richard, why do you not give us your least favourite legendary Pokemon of this generation?
My least favourite, which, yeah, I agree with your point that Jirachi is key. I just think it's like a Pokemon version of the G from Aladdin. Comes out maybe once every couple of thousand years. Grants 3 wishes. Fucks off again.
I think I would have liked him a lot more if it weren't for that reply in his stomach of what really disconcerting for me.
I think that's from the side. I was a bit
You know what? I can't remember if Jirachi or Celebi was the one that was extremely hard to get for us.
I might have read Jirachi.
So I know over here it was one of them, and in Japan it was the other way around, where the other one was extremely difficult to get, and I can't remember which one was it.
But yeah, I just think
And the limited number of wishes that it can do.
Not to mention, it doesn't really look like a steel type or yeah, it looks like it's inside the pair.
Yeah.
that's my brother. Yes.
Andrew?
Right then, my number 5 is Crampal. Just because he looks so weird, and I see no appealing features about his design whatsoever. It's not something that I outright dislike. It's just not something that I could ever like.
You don't like fun Pokemon. I think it was Cloyster when you brought to General.
It seems actually giving close to I like him now. He does flip flop in my opinion a lot. But he was unlucky with just when he made the video, but oh well. Yeah, I really don't see myself ever having any appeal for Campo.
Another annoying thing about Campbell is sort of feeds into the double battle gimmick because it's got the split evolution that are really similar.
But did he actually evolve into?
It evolves into Gorgas with the deep sea scale and Huntail with the deep sea tooth, I think. Something like that.
I don't get the evolutionary lines at all, but why does it evolve into those?
Another weird thing is, Huntail is a reference to Gorgas in its design, Gorgas doesn't. Huntail's tail looks like the head of a Gorgas, with the more pointed and the big white dot for a represent an eye, but Gorgas doesn't have the same thing.
Yeah, there's just I don't really have much else to add. I don't have anything else to add, so moving on.
Well, in my number 5 pick, in coordinates, I believe is the right word, with what I said last video about Team Rocket, I either love the Pokemon they have, or I absolutely despise the Pokemon they have, and Chimecho. Another one that James had, no. I mean, people complain about inanimate object Pokemon today by having a sword Pokemon or a chandelier Pokemon. But way back in, Generation 3, we had a wind chime Pokemon and nothing. Where was the people crying, oh, they've completely run out of ideas back then, the one that wasn't a person that wasn't a Gen 1er. It's just, it pissed me off that it gets that sort of special treatment that no one brings it up as an inanimate object Pokemon, that everyone's so quick to jump on Gen 5 or Gen 6 for it. So that really annoys me. And to be fair, that's probably the biggest reason why I hate it. But then there's also, it's not a good Pokemon, its design is very sucky, it got a pre-evolution in Gen 4 for no particular reason, which, if any Pokemon should get a pre-evolution, it should be a Pokemon that looks too weird coming out of the egg because it's too big, like Tropius or Kangaskhan or Lapras. But no, we gave it to Chimecho. Fuck's sake. Teen Titan Go's on the TV and there was a Batman reference. Well, Batman was there. Either way, I just don't like Chimecho. It's completely useless Pokemon, and it just pisses me off that it gets that sort of weird special. Like, no one's going around saying they like Chimecho, but no one's going around completely lambasting it for being an inanimate object Pokemon like they do with others, and that irritates me a lot. And that's really the big reason for it.
So you would like it more if it went to the community?
Yes, it's one of the rare cases where yes, I would like Chimecho. I wouldn't like Chimecho. It would probably still be on the list in all honesty. But, well, actually, no, it wouldn't. I wouldn't absolutely hate it like I do if it wasn't the community, and that's why it's only at number 5, because the Pokemon itself doesn't have too many problems. It's everything surrounding it.
I'd just like to point out, we haven't even been all the first number 5 choices ever.
Yeah.
Right, my number 5 choice is Silphine just because it's a lazy and that's the sort of kind of different. So which I think that really, really annoying. That's my choice.
You're talking about Silph and Cascade, actually. In the older games, Generation 3 up to Generation 5, they had spikes. In Generation 6, whatever is on the 3D models, they took the spikes away. Yeah, at least I'm pretty sure they did. There's never a look at pictures of it, it's just a solid ball, both of them. I'll have to look it up again and see some footage of them in game, but from what I can see on the images on Cerebi, they're just a ball with eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. So like that's just very okay.
So before we get on to your next choice, let's go for Andrew's next choice.
Barboach. Yeah, Barboach is Barboach. Is in my number 4 slot just because I feel much like Richard's I feel like he's just lazy. There's no sort of innovation that I can see behind the design. Not entertaining. It doesn't. It just. Yeah, it's another one of those Pokemon where if I hadn't looked at the Gen 3 list, I wouldn't have known it existed. So yeah, it's just completely forgettable, and there's no appeal to them that I can see anyway.
Well, my number 4 pick is the gimmick Pokemon Castform. Now, we like some of the gimmick Pokemon, Eevee being the big one that everyone seems to like. But Castform, no. I mean, Castform is a Pokemon that has a move called Weather Ball that changes depending on the weather it's used in. And Castform itself changes its form and its typing also depending on the weather. So, for example, if it's sunny, it will turn to Sunny Castform, which is, I believe, it changes typing to Fire type. Yeah, it changes into a Fire type, and the design changes a bit. And then there's also Rainy Castform and Snowy Castform for the same thing. But it still sucks. It's got shit stats, and it's just this tiny little thing with one appeal to it. Now, in my opinion, I think they should have had Castform evolve depending on what the weather was when you leveled it up to a certain level. I think that would be really cool. But, well,
thank you for finally.
I noticed, I just decided to ignore it because the video's already tracking. But either way, Castform is just like this one-note gimmick, and it never gets any better, unlike Eevee, which, yes, it's also another one-note gimmick, but actually evolves into some really cool Pokemon. That's it.
Right. My number 4 is Seagrass. Just because it's a nut with eyes. Yeah. The only thing that is that it's broken. I say.
Maybe Patricia.
But yeah, none of the laser design, that's why it's number 4. So I would actually for other reasons. Yeah.
Right, my number 3 is Nopass. I like his evolution. I do like. What's he called? I've forgotten his name. I like him, I've forgotten his name.
Robo.
That's the one. Right, but he does. It's just the daft design, especially lore-wise, because he can only look north. That brings several inherent problems. Like, what if you have a battle with someone, a trainer who was facing north when you started, or a direction that isn't south? You could never use those pass to fight it because you would never be able to look at them. And how do they reproduce? Because unless they have some really, really weird genitalia, then they're not going to be able to get them together because they can only ever look north. And uh, it's just such a silly concept for anything. I don't like his design in general, and then when you bring in the lore features, it just becomes even more silly. So yeah, he's another Pokemon that he wouldn't necessarily die himself,
Put the speech
but
go extinct.
yeah. So yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah. But either way, Andrew likes Turbo Pass. I'm not sure Andrew's going to be joining us for the next few videos. Either way, my number 3 is Relicanth. Fair warning, the rest of my list is going to be water types. Because Generation 3 being having a lot of water and a lot of surf roots in it, it introduced quite a few water types. And when you introduce a lot of something, the chances are increased that some of them are going to suck horribly. Which is why I think Gen 6 had so few Pokemon that were really bad, because it didn't introduce a lot of them. And why Gen 5 is considered to have a lot of bad Pokemon, because they introduced quite a lot. But either way, there are a lot, as we've mentioned quite a few times, water is the most common type. There are a lot of water types, and that means there are going to be a lot of bad water types. Gen 3, in my opinion, is one of the worst offenders to this, especially with Relicanth. It's another fish Pokemon that doesn't evolve. Like, we already have Magikarp and Feedbax. And then they go introducing things like Relicanth, like Basculin, like Finian and Luminion. We don't need all these little fish Pokemon that are barely ever useful. It's just stupid. If you're going to make them evolve into something unique, like they do with, again, Magikarp into Gyarados, Phoebus into Milotic, or Remoraid into Octillery. Be creative with the fish Pokemon, don't make it some weird little rocky camouflage piece of shit and make it absolutely worthless. Come up with better water types. Your turn, Richard.
Okay, my third choice is Lotad. Because it just looks like a design that was inspired by Lady Gaga. Like that hat. Honestly, the hat looks like such a breath. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's water and grass.
So I'm going to back up your opinion that a lot of the water type hat on this gen weren't exactly well designed. So I think they just had like one day to release it and they said, guys, we need to get fucking loads of them out there. Draw everything. And they came up with a lot of
Is that a picture of a fish over there? Okay, give it a red eye. Put it in.
No, it doesn't need any fins or doesn't need anything whatsoever. It just needs one eye. Well, give it some army camouflage.
one of his family was actually in contention for my favourites list than Ludicolo. I really like Ludicolo. I hate Ombre. Jesus. Looking back, I don't know why I didn't put him on my last list. In fact, I might even be able to take Love Disc out to number 2. Because I really, really hate Ombre.
Well, that being said, Richard, you've done with your number 3. Then, Andrew, let's move on to your number 2. Which one are you
Okay, I'm just going to tag my Ombre point onto what Richard said, I think, and go with Love Disc as my number 2. Just because, does this one really need that much explaining?
I think it is the most universally hated Pokemon.
Yeah.
As a whole, from the community, I think it is the most favourite Pokemon.
Yeah. It's not even the worst Pokemon stat-wise. and yet everybody just really hates it. Because unlike Suncan, it's crap and it doesn't actually evolve into anything. And when they spoiled for the I'll never get the pronunciation right. Oh, that's the one. Like everybody was excited that I might actually be getting some potential for Love This, but no, he just became even more of a disappointment. There's nothing else to say. You know, everyone knows why everyone hates Love This because we all do it. Your turn.
Well, my number 2. For the very first time in the history of these lists, I am putting a not fully evolved Pokemon on the list because I actually take issue with the basic form. That Pokemon is Surskit. Surskit is god awful. Its evolution, Masquerade, is actually pretty nice. It looks pretty cool, and I mean, it's not great, but it's good enough. Surskit is terrible. It's another water type for starters. Like I said, the rest of this list is water types. It's a water bug type. I'm with Tibi Conway on this one when he said that they missed a potential joke in the anime for Surskit because Misty loves water types and hates bug types. Surskit is the first water bug type, and Misty left before she ever got to meet it. It would have been funny to see a reaction to it. But regardless, Surskit is a shitty little Pokemon. It doesn't evolve into anything spectacular. But the main problem I have with it is you can only catch it in one place. To my knowledge, anyway, you can only catch it in one place in the game, and there is like a 1% chance of actually finding it. It has no right to be as rare as it is. It's a shitty little water bug, and it evolves into something okay at best. It's just my main problem with it, like many other people, is the rarity of it. It's got no right being that rare. Oh, Jesus. Richard?
My number 2, guys, is taken by Farm Pearl. Like I have so issue with oyster looking Pokemon, and yeah, I don't like it. Why is there people? Yeah, not the great thing, but that's just not good time.
Like you said earlier, the relationships.
That's the only time you'll ever hear me say that. Zing!
Bazinga.
So I thought you was going to care, obviously it was cool.
We've already discussed it. I don't think there's really much else to add that I haven't said already now. You haven't said. But yeah, moving on to number 1, Spoink. It's another one of those Pokemon that dies, and it is completely like it has no appeal in battle because I don't see Spoink ever winning anything with many of the other Pokemon that you see.
To be fair, it hasn't evolved yet.
That's true, but it isn't evolved how I'm talking about him. That's fun. And if he loses a battle and faints, that is literally the end of that point because he needs to keep bouncing at a very regular pace so as not to die. If he ever gets tired or wants to go to sleep, that would mean slowing down or stopping bouncing and he would die. So, another thing, if you put him asleep in the battle, he doesn't auto faint. That bugged me somewhat.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Paralyzed. Everything except for burn and poison, which to be fair would also probably just slow it down.
Yeah, and given that if he got panicked anyway while he was poisoned, he would start pumping poison around his body even faster because his heart rate is controlled by that.
Another thing, I mean, this one we haven't even really considered, but just hitting it would probably knock it off balance.
Yeah.
And it's on the 2 steady for it to get back up reliably, so. Doing anything to it kills it.
Yeah. I really, really hate Pokemon that die, and Spoink is pretty much the epitome of Pokemon that auto die doing anything.
Yeah. He's the one that everyone thinks of.
Yeah, at least like things like Charmander have a chance because his just there's a logical reason for him having it, I suppose. But Spoink is just daft, and you can't do anything without him dying.
And Slugma probably gets around it by the fact that because it's a liquid, it can always move itself.
Yeah,
Even though it isn't moving.
yeah. Plus, you'd never get in a battle with it because it's going from thousands of kilometers away. But that's a different for another time, maybe. Or you could just watch videos on it that people have already made.
Be sort of free.
Yeah. Your turn. Wait, your turn.
Well, my number one is one that has already been mentioned. Love Disc. I mean, what can you possibly say about Love Disc that you don't already know? It's a god awful Pokemon. It's another fucking water type. Which, frankly, I think that's why it's one of the most hated Pokemon. Because it's terrible and is a water type, which we have a lot of already. So it's like, it makes it even worse. It's just adding to the abundance of water types that we really just could have done without. If they didn't make Love Disc, we would have lost nothing. So it's just like, it's just wrong. Another reason I personally hate Love Disc is because Andrew's a dick. And one time on Pokemon X and Y, he caught a bunch of Love Disc and sent them out on Wonder Trade after taking the items off of them.
I didn't actually take the items off of all of them, so some of you got heart scales. If anyone who was even in the video.
Probably not, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andrew's penis, and to this day, he still has this little message says release the disc. So, yeah. Also,
No regrets.
Also, something I found out the other day is that I think if two Love Discs, like, kiss or are in love or something like that, they can briefly fly. And it's not water flying. It's a good thing that it's not water flying because it would be fucking destroyed even quicker. Although that might be a good thing because no one likes it. But either way.
Like, they could go in that direction for giving it a goddamn evolution.
Yeah, even if they just made it like a slight variation on two Love Discs.
Yeah.
I would be okay with
Like
that.
they've done it a million and one times with things like Fang and bloody
Magnemite.
yeah.
But yeah.
Oh.
They could literally just make it to Love Disc, but make some sort of pseudo butterfly thing, and that would be okay. At least it wouldn't be shite.
I mean, I probably hate the design even more than I hate the current Love Disc,
most
but
definitely.
at least it would have some potential.
Yeah.
And it would be one hell of a lot of fun to go with it. Because then you'd be able to experience, like, encounter out of the water, perhaps.
Well, let's stop beating a dead fish, Richard.
There's going to be one more fish to get finished off. And to just finish the whole point that water types in this gen were shit. And I think that's what was really good said about it. When it comes it's not even hated just to say ugly ass fish. But it's like that feeds off the bottom, round. Probably will taste like ass.
The only
I just don't like it at all.
The only thing anyone I could possibly give Relica is that it actually has some sort of realistic camouflage. Because it can hide against rocks. But in saying that, I believe it is a rock water type, and because it's also said to be old, and its name literally has the word relic in it, it should be a fossil Pokemon.
I was under the impression that it was for a long time.
I don't think it is.
I thought it had
fossil-
some association with the fossils.
Maybe, but it's not a fossil Pokemon itself.
Yeah.
The fossil Pokemon for this generation are, I think it's called Armaldo and Cradlip.
Also, I don't think he's going to be doing much to party because Pokemon is full of
Yeah, but I mean against like sea bottom rocks.
Yeah.
But then again, if it's that far under the ocean, it's dark anyway.
Yeah. Plus, there are rivers and things and lakes which would have very salty water at the bottom. It could be worth something.
I know that isn't Pokemon or water.
On the then again, you do dive in this generation. I don't remember seeing any particularly water.
I remember seeing a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
It's so
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, if it was a real world animal, it would actually have a chance. Unlike taking away its powers, make it a real world animal, it's got a chance. Unlike
Make
Pokemon,
it a real world
it's-
animal, it will be a child. It feeds off the bottom of a fucking river. It's mud. Tastes so good.
Well, I guess that's all then. Man, we had a fun time shitting on Generation 3. And by the sound of it, we had a hard time justifying or explaining why we like the ones that we do.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Gen 3 probably contender for the worst generation. Or least favourite generation, I should say, because I don't think any of us outright hate any generations. Yeah, that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
What's your favourite number 2?
Yeah, for the first time ever, the worst list is shorter than its respective best list. Well, I'm going to turn this off then.
Bye. Bye, guys.